Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Dinnie in Virginia. I'm your host, Dinnie, here in Virginia. Where in Virginia, you might ask? Well, of course, I'm back at it again at the peak of excellence here in Chesapeake, Virginia, and I'm just in random gas station number 5621312, and it's time for yet another Awkkie Talkkie with Dinnie in Virginia. So, today's episode, I just wanted to talk about something that's been on my heart of a potential new series that I kind of want to do on this channel, and that is to give business advice to local businesses here. I'm not talking about corporations, but I'm talking about much smaller local businesses here from the perspective of the consumer. So I do not own a business. I am not in partnership, or I don't have any sponsorship right now with anybody, and so I have just a very unbiased opinion of a lot of stuff. But it's like, I'm not a foodie because like I'm not built that way, so I can't like give like honest criticism online like to specific people. However, I do admit that we are not a perfect city. This is going to be mainly targeted towards Chesapeake. It can apply to literally anyone in the world, but it's going to be targeted mainly towards the peak of excellence because that's where I live. But it's generic advice. It's really common sense advice. And so let me know what you think on a potential new series of me just giving just common sense business advice to local businesses here, utilizing from the perspective of the consumer, from the perspective of the client, from the perspective of someone who is actually seeking their services, using their services, or eating at their restaurant or establishment or whatever. Because I have lived here for many, many years, and I would say over the past 2 years, I have had an increase in the amount of instances in which I was not 100% satisfaction guaranteed at the end of my whatever it is I did with whatever the local business was. And I'm not going to target anyone specifically. It's just going to be general, overall, generic stuff so that it can be applicable to more than one person. But it's like I've been having the same types of conversations for like over a year now, and it's been ramping up recently because we've just had like experiences where it's like either the service wasn't the best, the place wasn't the cleanest, the stall or vendor stall were just like, this is not what I was thinking it was going to be. It was just a lot of like, we thought one thing and then that thing didn't happen. And so let me know if you guys think this would be a good idea for a series, but also let me know what type of problems have you encountered with local businesses specifically, not like chain places that are like maybe like all around in multiple places in the States. But what problems have you had with local businesses that have simple solutions, but they're just not doing it? Or maybe you were too shy to tell them. Or maybe you were like me and you would just have car conversations in which you would just rage with the person you were out with who experienced the same thing, but you never actually told them about it. So I am at the stage in my life where I'm just too old to be taking bullcrap from people regularly anymore. And so I've taken enough of that in my life and I'm kind of over it. And so now I'm just want to let all the frustrations out and just be honest, give just genuine, constructive, that's the key, constructive criticism of businesses here in the great state of VA. More specifically, local businesses here in the great state of VA. And so the whole series would just be super common sense, like literally common sense, completely unoriginal advice to local businesses on how, from the perspective of a consumer, I think they could do better. And they can take it or they can criticize me and be like, you don't know what it's like behind the scenes. You don't know what it's like to run a business. And I don't. That's why I'm giving you the advice from the perspective of a consumer. And then you can check me and tell me if it's logistically possible from the perspective of a business owner. And so I'm just super, super, super interested. Yeah, I'm super, super, super interested in actually seeing if any local businesses would actually like critique me in response to my critiques of them. Like I said, I'm not going to target anyone specifically because I'm not built that way. I am a marshmallow. I am a marshmallow in and out. So what I would do is just give overarching advice. So for example, when it comes to restaurants, there are certain things that we like when it comes to, I'm not driving, I am clearly parked. There are certain things that I like when I go to a restaurant. Actually, I like to have a clean restaurant. I like to have like polite service. I like to have just like a decent ambience, pretty decent vibes. However, I've had several experiences where that was not the thing, And it was like you go in and you smell a certain smell, and it's like it seems like they wiped the tables with a rank cloth, and you know they did because you saw the cloth that they were ranking it with, and it was in dirty water, and they used that dirty water to wash stuff. And so it's like, I don't know what these health inspectors are doing, but they are not inspecting any health related things in establishments. So it's like stuff like that, basic common sense of like having cleanliness standards, being polite. The hostess should greet the customers as they come in, no matter what type of establishment it is. The secretary, the host, whoever is at the front, whoever is facing customers should just be common sense, should just have politeness exuding from them, like warmth. I want to feel warmth when I enter an establishment. I don't want to feel like I interrupted you. I don't want to feel like I interrupted your private time in your own establishment. I don't want to feel like I'm intruding. I want to feel welcomed. And so just certain standards that I feel like we've gotten away from. Another example would be for restaurants. Samples work. Samples work. They have worked on me time and time and time and time and time again. And so it's like, I don't understand why we've gotten away from samples. I don't know if it's because people are afraid that it's going to take away too much from the bottom line, but I'm telling you right now, there's been so many times when somebody has offered me a sample of something that I never would have ordered, never would have thought about ordering. I never even wanted to go to their establishment, but they offered me a sample of it, and instantly I had to get the thing because it was either so good or I was like, it's pretty darn good. I never would have tried this before, but now that I've tried it, I want more of it. One time, the perfect like combo wombo is to pair a sample with a coupon that can be immediately used. This happened to me at Barnes & Noble. The Starbucks came with a little mini frappuccino. When I say a mini frappuccino, not a sample cup, I mean a mini frappuccino. Like they took a frappuccino, shrunk it down. They put the whipped cream, a mini straw in a mini cup, and a whole little piece of chocolate chip cookie on top of it and gave it to me. And I was like, if I had the money, I would buy this frappuccino right now. And it was a flavor, it was like cookies and cream, and I never get cookies and cream frappuccino anything. And I was like, I would buy this right now because they gave me a sample and a coupon. And so that was just super awesome, super dope. And samples work, but I feel like not too many people give out samples, especially when it comes to local businesses. And I'm just like, but why not? They work. They still work to this day. I went live on IG and someone told me that they got samples of kettle corn and it worked on them. It makes you want the product more, because if I know what I like and I don't know you, I don't have any trust with you. But if you give me a free sample, that's no holds bars, I'm not risking anything. So I can sample it and then I can decide for myself whether or not I want to support you, whether or not I want to buy whatever item you're selling. So little business stuff like that I would consider like telling people, just generic business advice when it comes to like restaurants, local businesses in general, super common sense stuff. It's just, I want us to start raising our standards, and I want us to stop taking crap. I want local businesses to stop. Some of them I feel like are a little privileged in that they think that just because they exist here, just because they're local, or just because ABCD, that we owe them our money, but we do not, right? You have to work for my money. This was my money. I want to spend it with somebody, but I'm not just going to spend it with you just because, just because of A, just because of B, just because of C. You need to earn my money at the same time. You're not entitled to it. So that's just the general vibe of what the series would be about. It's just generic business advice to local businesses specifically, most specifically in the peak of excellence. So yeah, that's definitely what I would do. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I would do, is just give business advice to like local businesses, and that's it. So let me know if you guys think that would be a good idea. So after I post this, put the comments, because the comments disappear after I post this, so you can rewatch this later on. But that is my whole shtick. So let me know, you guys let me know, what are any problems that you have experienced working alongside or trying to support local businesses that there's a simple solution to. So give me both the problem and the solution you think there is to that problem that you've experienced with a local business. It doesn't have to be food. It's not exclusive to food, but it can also be restaurants or vendors or someone who sells flowers. I don't know, whatever it is, as long as you are working alongside with a local business. Experiences only, not chain restaurants, or not chain anything, not corporate, local, not corporate, local. So the gist of the thing is a series in which I give basic baby business advice to local businesses, and I just want to create the conversation of does the advice have any like merit, right? I want to create a conversation between us, the consumers, and the business owners, because logistically, I don't understand everything. So maybe my advice doesn't actually work for everyone, and that's okay. They just need to let me know. So this is just me getting my thoughts out into the ether, because there's a lot of thoughts up here. And so I hope you guys are having a wonderful, beautiful, fantastic night. And until next time, Dinnie out.